Hello and welcome to the Connection Compass. I am your host, Andrea Louise Evans. To find out more about my work, please visit andrealevans.com. Today, I'm taking the mic myself, reflecting on Series 2 in relation to this season of spring. On Saturday, the 22nd of March, I have a small spring in-person yoga workshop called Coming Home to You. And if you live in and around the Manchester area and would like to come, please check the show notes for the details. Stepping into the meteorological spring was just like a breath of fresh air, wasn't it? And the fact we have had some really beautiful sunny days, well, we have here in Manchester anyway, has made it all even more sweeter. The winter felt long to me, and February felt quite dark and murky. My somatic yoga training for healing and recovery was exactly that. Movements to access the deep layers of the fascia and healing the samskaras, the wounds that sit beneath. February has certainly been a clearing, and I'm finally starting to feel lighter, but I truly understand where I need to be to go to feel better. They always say awareness is healing, and you don't need to do anything more than that, other than perhaps learning to forgive and holding yourself in deep compassion, care, and love. Once we understand something, we always know what action needs to be taken and we know what to do. For me, it's the outdoors, movement, photography, writing, eating food that gives me energy rather than what sinks me. And over the past 3 years, I've collected lots of art stuff. I had a watercolour kit sat in my cupboard for ages and that was left untouched. And in January, I made sure I used it and realised it had been sat there far too long. And I'm pretty sure Terry and Beth, who's been on the podcast and coming up on the podcast, who are both artists, have been a source of inspiration for me as well. So, spring is a time for new beginnings, to sow those seeds of newness and what it is to come for the next cycle of the seasons. In spring, our yin energy, our feminine energy, begins to recede, and the yang energy starts to come more visible. Spring and summer are definitely my most creative times, and the majority of the work that I've created over the years have definitely grown over the spring and the summer. Working with the seasons always gives us the gift of time. So don't feel that you need to rush ahead into action if you don't need to. So let the energy build within you naturally, and working with the energy and leaning into that thought and feeling of where you would like to go, and start with what you want to do with your heart. This is what we're going to do in our Going Deeper membership this month on Substack. We will be taking our intentions for the new cycle of the seasons and engage the heart. When we set our goals and intentions, we often do it with logical thoughts, but it is by engaging the heart in what we want to do that will bring out our uniqueness and authenticity and take action from there. So then we've got the heart, the mind, the body uniting together as one team to work together. We certainly didn't get told that at school. Who picked their options, engaging the heart, mind, and body? I don't think anybody did. Anyway, so we're now into the meteorological spring, but it may be that this year you're more in alignment with that astronomical beginning. So your energy is going to be a little slower. You might not feel like taking action yet, but over the next couple of weeks, you will start to feel that energy build. And I always say you will intuitively know when you're ready to take action. And when we take action from that place, it makes things so much easier. Starting something new takes up a lot of energy, and if you are going to take small steps each day over the year towards your goals, you are going to need to find time for to rest. Working towards a goal is rarely obstacle free. You will hit brick walls, you'll come up against complexities, you'll want to give up, and your natural reaction might be to push through. And that's okay, but we do need to hold that awareness that sometimes the best course of action is to just take a step back, rest, review what you've done so far, look at what's not working, what is working, see if you can bring any old ideas and mix them with new to create something newer, better, that will help and support you along the way. I always call these times inner winters. Sometimes we have to stop to move forwards again, and I feel it's important for our success. How many times have I come to say here that we rarely switch off and we've all got that access to 24/7 newsfeed on multiple channels? So switching off is paramount for our well-being, and for us, when we have those spaces of switching off, ideals reveal themselves, and it's important for the maintenance of our energy that helps us to move forward and achieve what we want to do. So, this springtime, take your time, acclimatize to the new energy surrounding you. In the transition from winter to spring, things can feel quite unstable. The weather isn't always the best. Mother Nature can come across quite angry. It can be both disturbing and exhilarating, but then we get the pause, the standstill, a calm, and then everything remains dormant until it starts to get ready to break through the surface of the earth. And it can be like that for us as well. When I was creating the work for the seasons that I have done over the years, I regularly refer to a book, In the Way of the Five Seasons by John Kirkwood. He also has another one called The Way of the Five Elements. Both of them take an approach to the seasons, but John Kirkwood describes this moment brilliantly in spring, this moment, this point where we come to this standstill, and then the energy starts to build and everything starts to shoot forward and comes into life. He says, following the quietness, darkness, and dormancy of winter, it's as if nature is waking up after a long rest, stretching her arms, feeling her muscles and tendons as she prepares for movement. Always in the pauses, you will always find helpful information. Little ideas come to you in quiet moments that just allow you to take the next step forwards, particularly if you're stuck. It's in this space that you gather your tools that you will need on your journey to move forwards. Add depth, texture, context to whatever you want to do and achieve. Maybe you have mulled over ideas and goals over the winter period. Perhaps you've already reviewed and renewed some of your old ideas that haven't quite managed to get that forward momentum as yet. Spring is a time of new beginnings. You'll begin to let go of your yin energy of the winter, and that yang will really start to build now over the next couple of weeks. I often wonder if this is why our New Year's resolutions fail to take shape. We're just not ready for them. We're still in the midst of winter around New Year, and our ideas need more time to take shape before we use the energy of the spring to take action. The pause can be frustrating. We may feel that we just want to move forward, but just pacing yourself, just taking that time to listen, can often make a really big difference. Through coaching others and reflecting on my own experiences, I've noticed that there are three factors that seem to have a part to play in our successes in achieving our goals. I call these the three I's: identity, inner critic, and interference. They can also impact the transitional phase from one phase of life to another. Our awareness of these factors is paramount in order to move around our own resistance and obstacles when working towards our goals. When I reflect back over the episodes we have done so far in the second series of the Connection Compass, each one holds an important element to support us through spring, our intentions, goals, dreams, and wishes. I absolutely didn't intend that to happen. But to bring out what we desire and what we want to do in the world, we have to take daily or regular action. And in the second episode, when we spoke to Juliet Yardley, she shares with us how to form habits to keep us going towards our desired goals. Michelle then came in and talked to us about resilience. And when we want to do something for ourselves, and how important it is to overcome obstacles with determination and with the right support around us. With my conversation with Alyssa, we talked about doing something that you love and enjoy and involving your intuition and heart in the process. And my conversation with Terry about expression and art shows that what happens when you put your work out there, how you can make connections across the world, and we move into this energy of expansion. And with last week's episode, we talked to Rue, and I think it demonstrated how important a community is around us when we're working towards something and in your work. As we move towards the rest of season 2 and into season 3, we will hear stories of expansion, how obstacles and challenges along the way present themselves and how to overcome them. Wishing you a wonderful week. And on the Connection Compass next week, there's a wonderful episode as we're talking to artist Beth Elsden on intuition and art. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Connection Compass. If you think it will help someone else, please leave a review at podchaser.com. If you have any questions, please visit the Andrea L. Evans Facebook page. Remember, if you're in Manchester area and you would like to come to the mini spring retreat on Saturday, March the 22nd, don't forget to check out the details in the show notes. And finally, remember to keep talking, keep connecting for a more interconnected world.